First, we'd like to say that none of us are Dr. Lynn Rogers, but we are volunteers with the Bear Center. You want our names?
Yeah.
All right, I'm Terry Haganaw. I'm working with the Volunteer Coordinator Program.
I'm Kathy Brown.
I'm Judy Shaw.
I'm Mary Aldrich.
And I'm Judy Thone.
Okay, great. And tell me, how are you able to use the incentives, this whole idea of digital fundraising to your advantage to energize your donors and all that stuff?
Well, first, we'd like to say that the Give Minnesota project has provided the single largest financial contribution to the Bear Center throughout the whole year, which was fantastic for a nonprofit. And the rest of the question.
And why is that? I'm assuming it has a lot to do with your fan base being so virtual.
Yes, the fan base is virtual. It's the fans get enlisted through the updates that Dr. Rogers writes daily to remind us that it's getting closer and closer, time to give. And then based on the passion of the fans for the Bears, it just snowballs after that.
And we're very fortunate because our fan base is worldwide, not just in Minnesota or in one area. So we have just on our Facebook over 150,000 fans there. So that's a pretty good base to start from.
Now, how social media savvy, particularly Facebook, was your organization going into the first or second or now third year of GiveMN? I'm sure you guys have had a lot of learning to do, right, about social media. There's a lot of organizations that are very intimidated about it, but you guys have learned to take this deluge of fans you have and manage it and make it work for you. Can someone speak to social media a little bit?
Well, I think a lot has to do with shall we say, pop star Lily and Hope and Faith, and all that was done through den cams via the internet, which is a big part of our educational outreach program to teach people worldwide the misconceptions that we have about black bears, and that they're really not the ferocious animals that we think they are. So through the den cams, people connected with us through the internet, and whether it be Facebook, tweets, or just contacting your friends, relatives, and other potential donors has really leapfrogged us into the leaderboards with Minnesota Giving. And I think it just helped us expand on what we already started with den cams and Dr. Rogers' internet updates on a regular basis.
And how have you kind of reacted to all of that conversation? Did you created a staff position, or do you have somebody that manages it and looks at it a little bit more, or you have to have some management of it, I suppose. So any solutions, any tips for those people who may be new to the Facebook?
Because the fan base is so large, and it is worldwide, there are a few people, about 4 people, who monitor all of this. Well, actually, I should say there's more than that now. But they monitor the ongoing conversations. We have moderators, chat moderators, who keep track of the activity minute to minute on both Facebook on Lily the Black Bear or Project Hope. So I should probably say the moderators are pushing, because some are part-time. So total there's probably 100, and there's one woman who manages to keep track of all of that, and it works really well.
Just a fascinating social media case too. I think that the Bear Cam
And the page
driving
designed guidelines as well. We put up so many guidelines, what can be said on the page, what can't be said on the page. So it keeps the page at a happy medium. We don't have some people coming in and trying to take over, and I don't know what, we've had issues, but it does keep the focus directed on the Bears, on Dr. Lynn Rogers, on Sue, on the fundraising, any special days we have coming up, like the GiveMN, and then we promote that on the page. So
I'm really amazed at the community that has sprung up from the den cams. It started with Lily when she had Hope in 2010, and so many people saw that little baby bear being born on the internet, and from that's where everything sort of came off and kind of went from there. And it's amazing that this is not just a group of people who are supporting a nonprofit. These are people who love the bears. And in loving the bears, they've also, we've seen that they've come to care about each other. You'll see on there people that are, having difficulties or struggling. And I see other people getting on there and giving messages of encouragement. And that's what I think is really amazing about this whole thing, is the community that has evolved from just the birth of that one little bear.
Yeah, and it's virtual.
Yes.
This is
All
just
virtual.
fascinating to me that it's really social media. I mean, it is really.
It is
you guys are doing
virtual,
some really cool
virtual friendships as well.
And
from
this is the
people all
first
over
time
the
I've
world.
met any of these folks, so.
Great.
So we also would like to say, though, that working with GiveMN has been an amazing experience, because in trying to work with other organizations, you call them, you may or may not hear back from them. You guys are like right there. I mean, literally, you send an email and you have a
Yes.
response back in easily less than an hour. These people talked about calling with questions. I mean, there's either somebody there or the response is fantastic. The support and the expertise and the efficiency that you work with is just wonderful. So we'll be using GiveMN throughout the rest of the year for some
Great.
smaller campaigns.
Absolutely.